back to Superman and Lois TV Talk. This is our episode for Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2, What Lies Beneath and the Ties That Bind. My name is Frank, and joining me, as they always do, are my good friends and co-hosts, Robin and Derek. How's it going, fellas?
Good evening.
Great.
Fantastic. Happy to be here.
Good. So good to be back.
You too. Yeah. After what didn't seem like that long of a hiatus for some reason.
It's true. It's true.
It came back, and I was like, didn't we just go off? And then I realized we hadn't recorded anything in that time period, despite the fact we tried, and despite the fact we were all three together.
We were.
At Kent Farm, by the way.
Right.
Both Kent Farms.
Both Kent Farms. Dose. We'll let Robin tell that story at the appropriate time. But
I mean, well, like that's the first thing I wanted to get into is that we went to Vancouver. We got to talk about 2 episodes tonight, but want to mention to folks who are fans of Superman and Lois, especially. We saw where they filmed Kent Farm. We saw the Cushing home. We saw the entire Smallville Main Street from far away, but we saw it.
We saw the Sequoia. We saw the theater.
Yeah.
We saw the
right.
bus station and the post office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're still playing the little things.
We saw my mugshot where I got arrested and carried off the...
Almost.
Just kidding. Kidding.
We even went to the big park where they fought Morgan Edge as the Eradicator.
That's right. Yeah. We saw it all.
Yeah.
We saw it. It's like
we nobody can say we didn't pack in as much as we could possibly pack in on that trip.
We were, that was a stacked. A stacked.
Thanks,
trip.
Robin.
Yeah. Thank you, Robin's travel agency for planning that for us.
Burge Air.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also met up with a previous guest host of the show, honorary guest host of the show, but actually he's on the TV show Superman and Lois. So we met up with Jordan.
We did. We got ice cream with Jordan.
We did. Yeah.
On the rainiest day possible, which is saying something for Vancouver because obviously it rains a lot. But that was, as people in my region refer to it, a gully washer. That was the streets were flooded, and we drifted in. We rode the sidewalk down in the downfall into the ice cream parlor.
Yeah, pulled up in Noah's Ark and just
yeah.
It's a good time for ice cream, though.
Yeah, it was freezing cold, and we were soaking wet, and we thought, why not get some ice cream?
Yeah, but we had a nice visit with him. It was nice.
We had a lovely visit with Jordan, who told us some things about the new season, some things we've already seen, and some things we haven't seen. So we're excited as the season continues to unfold. Hard to believe we're already 2 episodes in at this point, and
really,
coming to you a week later than we normally would with standalone episodes. But somebody had to get COVID again. I don't know who, but it was me. It was me.
It was me.
Yeah, sucks to do everything right for 2 years and get it twice, but that's the world we live in now. I'm not really enjoying season 3 of COVID. The new storylines and characters are not interesting to me.
They're not very compelling
at all. So instead of that, why don't we talk about season 2 of Superman and Lois?
That sounds fantastic. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Well, we are talking. Well, let's talk first about the season premiere, What Lies Beneath, written by Brent Fletcher and directed by Gregory Smith. Both previous people that have worked on Superman and Lois before. I kind of made a little, since we have to talk about 2 episodes, I kind of put a little summary at the top of each of my notes, which is just, let's talk about the main plot points that are kind of covered in this episode. I think one of the biggest ones is the fact that we have Natalie here, and we have Lois, who we see basically what followed the season 1 finale, what happened afterwards, which was basically Lois just walked away.
Just froze. She just froze and then walked.
Yep. And in this premiere, she's getting into arguments with Clark. She's snapping at the boys, for good reason. We'll get into that. And she's having a little trouble at the Gazette. I don't know, maybe even trusting anybody to work alongside them. That seems to be kind of an issue that's still kind of outstanding. Getting somebody to work at the Gazette.
As rough as the position that is for Natalie, I mean, the helplessness of Lois Lane, who is not usually a helpless person at all, who has no trouble taking control and taking charge of something, and in that instance, just absolutely, like she says later in the premiere, freezes. Can't comprehend what's happening around her. I don't want to say can't comprehend, but is a difficult position for anybody to be in. Definitely.
Yeah,
unimaginable to us, but
yeah. Well,
in the multiverse, that's
how often does Lois find herself in a position where she doesn't know how to react?
Speechless.
Right? Like,
how often does Lois Lane find herself speechless? Never.
Yeah.
In 80 years, never.
Right.
Whoa, she's that old? She doesn't look it.
She looks fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, especially, reflecting on what she went through, like her lowest, I wouldn't say her lowest point. The lowest point, I'd say, the biggest, deepest plot line we got into was her dealing with, what the idea of Natalie brought up for her from her past and what she, for losing a baby.
Because it's loss. It's loss on both sides. It's loss for Natalie, loss for mother. But Lois, lost that baby, lost that child. And so I made that argument. I really wanted to go back and listen to our last episode, and I just didn't have the chance before we recorded. But I still maintain it was a choice to go this route. Obviously, that's drama, that's angst to do this and pull this plot line into a what kind of became a neat little bow and wrapped everything up in season 1, and then you literally drop this in Lois's lap, that pod with that child, and that's gut wrenching stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of it at the time with the finale. I really I did appreciate how they handled the delicacy of it throughout the premiere, though.
Yeah, it's interesting. They did something in here that I wasn't that big of a fan of, which was like, we already know how much this might affect Lois, but now, like, she brought up yet another thing from her past, which was that, she feels guilty because her mom actually hurt her by, like, abandoning her and Lucy.
Yeah.
So
that's a big change from the norm.
She's like, did we really need that?
Yeah, no, I think that I think that I appreciated that point of view. If nothing else, I appreciated that stirred emotion in Lois in such a way that it reflected how she was treating the situation with Natalie. I mean, we did jump 3 months, obviously.
Sure.
And Lois did try to reach out on at least a couple of occasions, but Natalie even accuses her of that being more for Lois's benefit than Natalie's.
Right.
At a certain point. And when we get to that moment of them sitting on Martha Kent, it's hard.
What?
Sitting on Martha's lap, sitting on the bench. It'll be interesting to see more how that culminates between the two of them moving forward.
I did like that as a different approach for Lois, and giving her a more of a sympathetic approach to how Natalie must be feeling, and trying to sort of undo her mistake, but Natalie feeling abandoned by it, and Lois being able to understand what that feels like.
And yeah, so we could talk a little bit about Natalie's side, like I guess her and John decide to make a go of it in Metropolis, and now Natalie's got to go to the school that she used to go to, and all the friends that she used to know don't know her. So it is probably a bit confusing for a teenager to have to deal with that.
Yeah, no kidding. The way John is like reminding her, like, hey, like these kids, they're not these are not the same people who you're friends with. The same way that Lois is not your mom. Like,
Right.
just remember that. Like, don't.
Yeah,
feel
I thought
comfortable with them because they're not the same people.
Did you find it odd that they chose to go to Metropolis? I mean, I get kind of leaving Smallville after those events that transpired in the farm driveway, but I mean, you're literally dropping her. I guess you're dropping her in a familiar place, but at the same time, when you have to, your best friends don't know you, and
I
to
feel
me,
like
that's
for
almost
me-
more difficult. Like, at least move to a new place, like it would be if you moved to a new place,
exactly
on
If
your
it were
Earth.
me, that's what I would do.
Yeah,
like just start fresh somewhere.
Yeah.
Instead of dealing with the intricacies of like, oh, that's George, but it's not actually George.
Yeah.
Like whatever, that whole thing is just that'd be real tough.
Yeah, and John already went through this already, contemplating talking to his sister last season. And that never happened. But yeah, that finally we do get to that bench scene. Lois says she does want to get to know her, and wants to be friends, not just because of like any sort of guilt, but because she's smart, she's a survivor, many more reasons. It would be good for the both of us that we connect, So it is probably still a bit confusing for a teenager who's like your physical version of your mom is basically sitting in front of you, but she's not the same person. But I think they're going to. I don't think they're going to settle that very easily as we go into episode 2 as well with some other stuff. But
did it annoy either of you that we really never got the semantics of how she got here? We just we skirted around that with John Henry, and then we kind of just was like, just hopped on over.
It doesn't annoy me that we didn't get it. It does annoy me that no one has even asked. Like,
Right.
It's one thing if they're saving it until later in the season and there'll be some kind of a flashback or whatever. That's one thing.
But then
It's
when there's
another
a
thing
3-month time jump and it doesn't get discussed, yeah.
But the fact that it's not even discussed, that's the thing that's like, really?
She's here
Okay.
now. That's fine. Yeah.
yeah, and I think she mentions in episode 2 how she's from a destroyed world. I'm like, wait, that version of the world got blown up or something?
Yeah.
Or, and so is that the reason why you escaped in your pod and it got knocked off course? Or
That's a different show.
oh, sorry.
I did that one already.
Yeah, that one's other things that happened since last we recorded. That one's done.
Yeah. So naturally we're waiting for Kara to show up here.
Kara.
On
Kara.
Yeah. Kira.
It's been a year. He still doesn't get it
You know
right.
what? Let's split the difference. Kira.
Kira. Okay, next point. Let's talk a little bit about our buddy Jonathan. Very frustrated about football. But we see he's got a girlfriend here, and it's not Tegan Wickham, the person that might have been in the Flash universe, had some sort of connection with a Flash villain. Now that's completely gone. She's gone. Who knows where she went?
We just straight up dropped that, like to the point that was one of his final moments in the in the ending of the finale. Him looking at her at the party, and then nope,
Dropped it like a hot potato.
yeah, and not even a recasting. So totally different character altogether. Interesting.
This is Candace.
Mm-hmm.
And Candace and he reap the benefits of
Candace girl, go up to my bedroom when my dad's gone.
Nice.
I mean, I've seen this one before. Was that? I feel like I've seen this before.
Listen, I got the change jar right here. If you
Some
want to
other
start
show, some other
want-
moment.
If you want to talk about the other show, we got to put coins in the jar. I'm just saying.
All right.
I'll be good.
We can do it. It's here.
If I say Alicia Baker, is that change in the jar?
All right,
Like,
now
There it goes.
that's like a penny, right?
That's more than a penny.
But
So,
very, very much that. Yes.
Yeah.
And Lois catches them, and
And
Which
she's
of the
so
two
supportive
parents, that's probably not the one you want catching.
No.
You. Especially, she's already stressed. She's a little stressed. She's got a lot going on in her mind. So that didn't help.
Let's be honest. She's the Jonathan. So like she's the one you don't want to catch.
Yeah.
I don't understand
Cut
how
the damn thing off. You use it in my house. You know that's.
I don't think that gets a coin because that's not canon, but close enough.
The real ones will know.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Jonathan and Jordan ever think they can get away with anything if they have a father that can hear a gunshot from 3 countries away.
True.
Just like, what?
True. And yet he's not the one that caught them.
Right,
Why,
right.
Why is Jonathan's heart rate?
Son, let's go out and try out the heat vision.
Let's have a bell for a Ben Hubbard reference, though. That was music to my ears. I do love a good Ben Hubbard reference.
I do. Yes.
But I do like that it kind of culminates into
Although Jonathan was plowing a different back for you.
Hey now.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
We got to get out a different jar for all this.
That was
That's a different thing. It's a whole different story.
I love that Clark gets to we get to see Clark give the lecture, give the talk to his boys about
in the most roundabout way.
Yeah. It's like you're adult. I do like it. It's just kind of like it's adult. It's an adult decision. You have to be an adult to, be able to handle the adult feelings that you might be having. So, if you have any questions, come to us.
I appreciate Dad Clark. I appreciate that version of the talk. That said, I really would love to be a fly on the wall for the Lois talk.
I know.
And how mortified the two of them would have to be. Absolutely mortified.
No kidding.
I mean, at least they were able to crack smiles and laugh about, Mom and Dad,
Sure.
that moment. That didn't happen with Lois, I can guarantee you. That was a far more straightforward discussion with Mom, I'm sure.
So I guess it's implied here during this talk that was Lois Clark's only close.
The boys think so.
I think so, yeah. I definitely think so.
Interesting.
Which I love. Absolutely love that.
I do love that.
Yeah.
Maybe in the Superman universe, but guys got to get out there, have a little experience and then settle
Shut
down.
up, Robin. No. In-game canon. 2 of them
Thumbs
together.
down.
No. No. You and your terrible jokes. No.
Anyway,
I absolutely love that was the case.
Yeah, same.
Especially for this Clark.
Yeah.
But I do like that Clark's like, you got to be responsible and especially just always respect, whoever you're with.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I thought that was great.
Absolutely.
That's what he would say.
Yes.
That seems like Jonathan Kent,
Yes.
It was,
Grandpa.
but I did love that when Lois told him what was going on. Come on, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Come on.
Because it was almost more like, come on, don't get caught.
Just had to save a submarine. You could have at least.
Exactly.
Man. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Clark left him behind, but like he had to go save a submarine. Like, what was he gonna get a chaperone? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we kind of skimmed over that a little bit, talking about Lois and the things she's going through, but that does lead to some arguments with Clark. Especially when she's like using the ELT and he's doing Superman business, and do you use the ELT for?
That's for emergencies, not a hookup. I'm quoting.
That wasn't really fair.
I'm quoting.
When he pulled that, though.
I think both of them were in the wrong in their own ways. Obviously, this is all a culmination of many different stressors that are affecting her, and she obviously admits to blaming him and being out of hand on certain elements. I think he also undersold it a little bit. I think she oversold it.
I think his underselling it, though, was more unfair than her overselling it.
Well, again,
I think they're both a little wrong, but he might be a little more wrong on that one.
Yes.
That was my read, anyway.
Yes.
My opinion.
He's also keeping some things. He's also got some stressors that he's keeping from her at this point, too. Not really keeping, but doesn't really understand them, so what's the point in bringing them up yet? By this point, it's only happened one time. The revisions and the headache and everything, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
Pounding headache, you might call it.
Yeah. Let's talk about Jordan. Sarah comes home and doesn't seem to be excited to hang out with him. He's getting a different read on her. She's been away to summer camp. And
we don't know what that means.
It was summer camp. We'll get into why, but yeah, I do like we get to go back to the bridge over Atlas Pond, and he does this whole lighting floating candles ceremony kind of thing.
Let's give Jordan the several times that he used abilities in both of these episodes a far more master control over them than what we saw in season 1.
Yeah,
I would definitely think in the last 3 months he's honed his abilities a little bit better.
So something did progress in 3 months. Not everything was frozen in amber.
Yes,
for the summer.
Yes,
we'll settle this when we get back next season.
Yeah,
right.
But
right,
Jordan's out behind the barn going. Bzz, bzz.
You guys go sit on the couch for 3 months.
Yeah,
we'll talk about this later. It doesn't really seem like much else happened. We just didn't talk to Natalie, and Sarah went to summer camp, and that's pretty much it.
Jonathan broke up with Tegan and hooked up with Candace. Well, he didn't hook up, but you know what I mean.
Well, he attempted.
Yeah, got together with,
Let's see, what else? We have, we have a new character. We have Mitch Anderson, Lieutenant General? I don't know. New guy, new cast member, and played by a friend of Tyler's, former castmate from Teen Wolf, Ian Bowen. Clark did get distracted by the whole Jonathan and Candace thing by going to save a North Korean sub, which was a really cool sequence. I don't want to gloss over that.
They once again they spend the budget well on VFX where needed and don't waste it in other places. It's used, I would say, sparingly. We don't have huge action sequences. This is a very cinematic show, and I think it was done well. They do like their shadows and their darkness. I think it's easier to spend money and make things look better when pouring down rain happens.
Yeah.
Or you're in the dark with a nuclear reactor or things like that. But it was a really good sequence.
It was very cool.
Yeah, the other thing they like is Superman basically holding something in slow motion, huge above him. This reminded me of the whole saving the bridge incident. But this time I thought the rain coming down was so cool. It was so I don't know, like you said, cinematic.
Yeah, definitely. But that doesn't. The American government doesn't care for saving North Korean subs.
Well, we could have he could have just put the sub, in American soil. That way they could take control of it.
Yeah, because that wouldn't have caused an international incident at all.
No.
He'd be chill about that.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good line, and it was in this one, obviously, but it was the trailer leading up to this to kind of see how the juxtaposition of where we were with Sam Blaine and versus where we'll go now. That they want Superman to pledge his allegiance, his loyalty to the United States, the truth, justice, and the American way, and he's like, I gave my allegiance to the world. I'm here to help all. And so it's, and obviously in 2022, it's a very different look for the Man of Steel to have to carefully negotiate those boundaries around the world and kind of preserve the way things are and not tip the scales one way or the other.
And
to
I thought
save
it was handled
lives.
a lot better. It was handled a lot more delicately, not delicately, but diplomatically.
Yes.
Than it had been in like 2011 or 2012 when they did it in the comics, and they had him sort of express a similar sentiment, but it was even more forceful in the comics, where he was like, "I'm revoking my U.S. citizenship,"
Yes.
and It was much more like in anger and in protest, where here it was more of a like, "Well, I belong to the world, not to any one nation," and I actually thought it was very sensible the way that he handled that.
And it's echoes of what's happening in the pages of DC Comics, too, because they've just dropped the "and the American way" mantra as well. So, but it's, obviously the lieutenant does not care for the fact that North Korea got its sub saved by Superman, by the most recognizable emblem on Earth.
Mm-hmm. And so later there is some stuff at the Schuster Mines, if I remember correctly, and that's where he runs into a new team of super kids.
Supermen of America, as it were, perhaps. The kiddos, youngsters from our school, which are metahumans. Basically, I would love to know what each specimen, what the abilities that they have. But we obviously know what one of them has eventually.
Will be.
But obviously in the opener we haven't seen that third person yet. We've just seen this guy and this girl who Anderson says we can slap a S shield on whoever we want. I did love Clark. That's not your emblem to give. That's his heritage. That's his coat of arms. That's his family. And Anderson's a little smug. So I don't. You're doing right when you bring in a character you're supposed to hate, and I instantly hate him from the second he shows up. I mean, I was like, get this smug bastard off the screen. I hated him from the get go.
Yeah, and I think he's like. We're used to General Lane working from the Department of Defense, but I don't know if this was a General Lane thing last season, but I think they mentioned a threat protection agency or something like that, like some sort of division.
Right.
That I probably am getting it wrong, but it was threat something.
Yeah, but it was definitely, I don't know if that's an Anderson invention or not, but it's one that's up and coming that he's apparently recruited Superman for, and Superman wants nothing to do with.
You distracted me when you said Superman 4. I was like, what?
Sorry, Quest for Peace. You're familiar.
Speaking of things I want nothing to do with.
I'd tell you who I'd write a letter to that would do some good.
Okay, so, besides that, we have now the beginning of the Superman collapsing and having visions. And in this first episode, what did you guys think about this?
Frank?
Or should we wait to the second episode to talk more?
I kind of feel like we should wait till the second episode, actually, so we can talk about it.
Okay, I needed to go back and watch it, but I had a question. And it's probably just me misremembering, because I was quite under the weather while watching the premiere. So we do, and I'm going to jump ahead just to backtrack a little bit, but we do learn that these visions, these headaches, are kind of coinciding with the earthquakes.
Yes.
Right. With the events. And so we have the first one when he's the sub, which was a tremor, but on the seismic scale, but it wasn't really felt in Smallville. Mm-hmm. It happened, but not strong enough to, reach the surface level. Did Clark have a headache during the Smallville earthquake at the end of 201?
I don't think so.
I honestly could not remember when
when
they get to the point and they're at the dining room table with John at the John Henry. At the again, it's John Henry, Captain Luther. I still can't land on a.
It's John Henry.
Yeah,
I mean, they call him John.
And of course
they do, but then they got another John, and it just gets confusing to
Jonathan.
me. It's just I know, and there's too many too. But I was like, wait a minute, did he not have one? I remember him flying up and listening, but I was like, did he have that?
Okay, so
and everybody's yelling at their iPods right now, and it's fine. You could yell at me. I had COVID.
I'll correct you right now. During the earthquake, he doesn't. He does save the Smallville water tower in a way.
Right.
He freezes the water coming. That'll hold it there.
That'll work for a minute.
That works. I didn't remember seeing that while we were there. Did you guys see the water tower been over with the icicles? I didn't see that.
No. And then he goes into the mines, and things start exploding and collapsing. We get this great thing where Superman catches this dump truck falling off a cliffside. And then inside the mine, he meets the super youths, and that's when he collapses.
Youths.
And yeah, when he wakes up, they're gone. So
yeah,
he'll be fine.
He's fine.
One thing, there is a bit of merch from this episode that I really want. And now we saw like preview images of this episode, and I immediately asked Derek if he wanted those Super Friend jackets. But there was a piece of merch in here that I absolutely loved, which was they're selling Superman merch on Smallville Main Street, and one of the shirts I see somebody wear is "I got eradicated," and all I got was this lousy T-shirt, which I gotta have that. I gotta have that.
Gosh, that's amazing.
And
that's amazing.
I saw another one that said "Superman saved me." Aw. I like that.
I love that the people know that the term is the eradicator or being eradicated. Like that's in the nomenclature. Like that's a known vocabulary word now.
Right.
That's really funny.
So I think that's it. Oh, Jonathan's saying yes, ma'am, to Lois. That was a great moment as well. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We ready to move into? Oh wait, the end, of course, is we see deep within the earth, under the mines. We see a fist punch out, and it's got a light on it, as if it's like maybe like a creature that lives underground, maybe that needs a light to see,
like a mole.
Hey.
Does that count? You put a quarter in the jar for that? Oh, you just get a ding. You just get a bell.
That's not canon, so. Well, it is canon, so.
It is canon, thank you very much. You check your privilege at the door.
From not being canon to...
Yeah. That is canon. That's Derek Russell canon, by the way.
At the corner of Russell and... Yeah.
That's implemented canon. I thought Bitsy was the star of this one. I thought she did a phenomenal job. Obviously, throughout, and then the scene with Natalie, between Lois and Natalie, and then having to go back home and bring John Henry and Natalie home and with her and telling Clark that, and obviously the scene on the front porch with Clark where she says, "I've been blaming you for months and not knowing how to deal with this," having to talk about her mom, and then we kind of in the discussions with Chrissy at the Gazette. Knowing what's coming down the pipeline, you kind of start to put the pieces together there to know more things that are going to be Lois-centric storylines. And obviously, we get that reveal in 202. But I thought she was definitely our star of the episode, and I like our new cast members additions as well. Our two new recurrings. Even if I don't care for one of the characters very much, but we're not supposed to like him. So,
exactly. So he's doing his job.
Yeah,
I thought, especially in 202, Natalie was just like so compelling. Jumped right off the screen and super likable. And
she's gonna be great, and we've already seen how she's gonna kind of weave into even more so into our characters' lives moving forward with 202. I was a little surprised there was no Sam Lane in the entire episode, not even over the phone or anything. I was surprised.
I thought he was going to live there.
Yeah, I thought he was moving to Smallville.
The whole thing was he wanted to spend more time with his
we
family.
don't see him. We know he comes in 203. So
then when John and Natalie get invited to stay at the Kent farm, that was another thing. At the end of the season 1, I was like, oh, they're obviously all moving in together. But no. Poor Natalie had to sleep in that RV for like 3 months.
I guess
in the Kansas heat.
Clark, you can't throw. I mean, Clark could put an addition on that house quick. Real
that's
quick.
true.
Seriously.
Yeah. I mean, we saw the back of it. There's nothing there. It's just plywood and
everybody's
insulation. What kills me, as an aside, I gotta say this though. So it's pouring down rain. Of course, it's Vancouver. We finally find the place. It's a drive because this was the day we went to Victoria Island. We went out to see Luther Mansion from Smallville. So we'd spent more than half the day. We'd gotten up.
Well, you got to get out to Victoria Island.
You got to get out to Victoria Island, from what I hear. So we get out there on the ferry super early. We come back pouring down rain. We're going to meet Jordan later for ice cream, but in between there is the farm. So we stop off, and it's, I don't want to give away all the secrets of the filming and ruining it for some people.
Movie magic.
Obviously they have a porch built on set, and the interior is obviously, of course, on a set. But I think the barn, didn't we realize in talking to Jordan and seeing it, the barn is this actual house's, not Kent Farm, but the actual house this property on, their functional barn, and then they've built this facade for Kent Farm.
Facade.
And is that a quarter in the jar? I don't know. No. But it's surrounded by water. Like it's almost like a peninsula almost. And I was like, the way they shoot it, you never see it. But it's just this huge body of water, like just a stone's throw from the back of the farm.
I've been looking. Like all those establishing shots of the farm so far in these first 2 episodes,
you don't see it at all.
Any hint of it. You don't see a hint of that body of water, and you don't see the actual house. That's
the actual house. It's shot so well that you don't. And the actual house is right there. I mean, it's right there in the driveway. You've got to go past it to get.
It must be behind the barn and all the shots that they're using.
But even the crane shots. I mean, I'm sure it's CGI'd out, especially those crane shots.
Or that.
That water, that huge amount of body of water that was back there, you just don't even see it at all. I mean, it's just really surprising. I mean, you just think Kansas. You think just farmland and crops as far as the eyes can see and flat. And, of course, there's mountains and all this other stuff, and there's just like, no, there's a lake just right there all of a sudden. It was surprising to me.
Movie magic.
For sure. Yeah, I kind of looking at our Instagram, I was like, did I actually share? I must have shared some of those shots. If I didn't,
I think you did.
I will.
You might have put it in our story at the time.
Might have been a story, yeah. But yeah, if I didn't, I'll put a post up to show that because of course the Cushing house is a private residence, so we kind of took a quick picture in front and went away, minded our own business.
They were not having a barbecue. We would have invited ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. I did eye the fence in the backyard, and it looks exactly like the fence, because they probably just filmed back there, I'm assuming. And I was just like, oh man, there's a barbecue back there. I guarantee if it wasn't raining out, you see Kyle out there jamming air guitar.
I'll be back there.
Props to these location scouts though, because they did a really great job. I mean, this house is on the end of a dead end street. I mean, obviously it doesn't affect the other residents that live on the street when they're filming, so they're really out of the way of everybody. But and then who just was driving by and saw this barn, I guess, and was like, oh, we could just build a fake house out there right next to the barn.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to share a post because I just looked at our Instagram. It looks like I just kind of shared Smallville stuff, but which this isn't I don't want to lose any money by talking about all the locations we went to, but
sure.
So that Kent Farm too. Anyway,
we did.
That
It was
said,
awesome.
we spent way more time at Other Kent Farm.
We definitely did.
Yes.
I think we're on the deed now. I think it got left to us or willed to us. I'm not totally sure. I think we all own a piece of it.
Love you, Roy. Love you, Roy.
We each have a 1/6 interest in the property.
Yep. Roy can't. Anyway, let's get into episode 2, The Ties That Bind, written by Christy Korzek and Michael Narducci and directed by David Ramsey, who's making his directorial return, rather.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was going to be back so soon. I saw his name in the credits as I was watching this one, and I was like,
I didn't expect a lot of people in this episode to be back so soon.
that is fair.
I was like, really? Episode 2? That seemed like an episode 5 thing at the most, but
I saw his name in the credits too. Yeah.
we plowed right along on this one.
Well, yeah, let's get into it. I mean, we find out what's been going on with Tal-Rho, aka Morgan Edge. He's got his own Hannibal Lecter cell with his own personal library. What do you think he's reading in there?
How he spent his summer vacation? He got that zaddy beard. I mean, he let that thing grow in. He got that Robin Burge beard.
He's got that, and he's
Looking
apparently
good.
living in the library from Beauty and the Beast or something. And so
Yeah.
he's just got mountains of books to read.
I think I saw The Joy of Cooking.
Okay,
Julia
There you go.
Child, so he's plowed through that. But then I thought there were a couple of things I was like, what did he say? There was one line I was like, that seemed like an out of character line for him. And then I remembered, no, he's been here all these years. Like the vernacular is totally his to use. Not.
When he saw Jordan for the first time, he said "Howdy," like Minnie Pearl. Was that the?
No,
the
it was
line you're
something
thinking
when
of?
he was talking to Clark in the cell to begin with. I can't remember what it was, but it was something I was. like,
Have the
that
lamb
was an
stopped
odd
screaming,
choice.
Clark?
Hello, Clarice. Hello, Clark. It's good to see you again.
But
no, I don't remember what it was. But yeah, I was like, oh, we're back. We dropped right back into it. I was surprised. That does seem like a midway season kind of reveal thing. But I guess when you're only have so many when you're not doing the 22 episode thing, you gotta truck along a little faster.
Yay!
So we dropped right in on our half brother and how he spent his summer vacation.
At one point, he says like "Hello, brother," and in a way that was
brother.
very. Yeah, it was very Clockwork Orange, and it disturbed me a little bit.
And like Ted Kaczynski, he's been doing a lot of reading, and spending his time.
You might say,
looking good.
I was when I heard that he was going to be back for season 2. I was just like, because I just like when they introduce a big bad in one season. There's shows that do this. They introduce a big bad, and then the show kind of falls in love with the big bad, so they keep that big bad around, and it's just like. I don't know. You kind of want, your hero to deal with other big bads rather than constantly dealing with just one big bad over and over and over again. But
at the same time, though, you don't like he obviously didn't die, so you want that kind of acknowledgement, that he's still there, that he still exists, that we didn't just lock him in a cell and throw away the key and forgot him.
Well, to finish my thought,
Apologies.
I just wanted to say, like, his return in this episode, I was right into it. Like, they wrote him really awesomely. Like you said, he's got that awesome, his beard's growing in a little bit. He's looking a little bit rougher, and he's not playing, he's not playing Morgan Edge. He's free to just say whatever he wants.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah,
the 3-piece suits are gone.
Right.
Yeah.
That all pretense is gone, and he's just.
And it's interesting too because we didn't really see what became of him after that final blow in the quarry with the solar flares and everything. That just kind of ended.
He just got punched the heck out, and that was it for him for the
season.
Well,
and he was just sitting there, helpless when Steel and Superman were standing over him, and then we cut to commercial, and then we came back for the epilogue. So it was it's nice to see that they did acknowledge, like I said a minute ago, acknowledge that, not to reuse the term. I am kind of surprised we didn't get a scene knowing how this swarmy kind of Anderson's going to be, that we didn't get a scene of the lieutenant being like, absolutely not, I'm not allowing you to see the prisoner, and that that
That
kind of
is
thing.
a question.
That's almost expected of a character like this, and then and wasn't addressed.
I was wondering what the connection was there, because he said Clark said something about Sam pulling some strings.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with Mitch Anderson. and also it's just like, okay, so does that mean that Tal-Rho is being housed by a different division of the DOD, or is this all under Anderson? And how, after breaking up with Anderson in the last episode, how was he able to not only visit Tal, but get him out of there? Like, that all was kind of... I would have loved to know more detail there.
The days of him coming into his house unannounced are over.
Yeah, that's a dime in the jar, at least.
So they go to the Fortress of Tal to see what's going on with these visions, because Lois had this idea, which I was just like, that since he was eradicated by Zod, could this be some sort of vision of Krypton exploding? And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even
enter into it for me. I didn't think about that. And then, of course, the next lateral thought from that, the jump over, is, oh my God, Jordan.
Yeah.
Is Jordan's going to be having the same troubling, thoughts? And obviously, then you have to question the residents of Smallville having that as well, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But it was a nice little aside to, a rational, logical explanation of what could be happening here all of a sudden.
Yeah, there's some sort of after effects.
Yeah, Kyle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
because Robin's still expecting a Kyle Jonathan showdown at some point.
They did it. They teased that, and I was like, I
don't know why you want this middle-aged man to just go beat up this child, but if you're rooting for it.
Jonathan, so that his wife can go run away with the child's father.
Stop it.
Yeah, they got to open that bottle of wine somehow.
Oh my God, I'm going to open it over your head. And open it over your damn head.
So, surprise, surprise, Tal's been keeping a little secret crystal that has the essence of Lara. Essence of Lara.
Like Calvin Klein.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we called it, technically. That was one thing we were talking about at the end of season 1, why this crystal was left behind and never referenced again. Obviously, we knew that he had taken it, and I still don't know why at the end of this episode we don't take it and put it in the actual fortress.
That's destroyed.
But the fortress is not destroyed. Jor-El's crystal was destroyed.
Didn't he say the fortress? Clark said the fortress was destroyed.
No.
Remember, there was even that deleted. There was even that deleted scene or the extended scene from the finale where he, gives the fortress one last look because it's dead. I mean, it's there. It's just not operational because Jor-El's crystal's gone.
Jordan in this episode says something about the fortress being dead.
Yeah,
but it's
because Jor-El's crystal powered
because of the crystal,
and Tal destroyed the crystal. So why can't we just put the Lara's crystal in there? That was a big argument we had at the end of season 1. Yeah. There's 2 things in this episode that it took to get to the second episode that we discussed heavily that we expected to happen. That they kind of just skirted around and then finally were like, okay, yeah, we'll do that too. But yeah, one of them being Lara's crystal. But that's so we never get to see that. Superman 2 aside. You never get to see the Lara crystal. You never get to see and so it was nice. I kind of hate that it was the first interaction was with Tal being there, and it became more about him than Clark.
Yeah, he had some feelings.
He's got some issues. Yeah,
but we learned a little bit more. I mean, if you watched Man of Steel, you might know about the whole birthing matrix and the fact that Clark was a natural birth, it sounds like, and the only natural birth on Krypton, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm. And that's why he's the favorite.
Mm-hmm. And that Lara never even met Tal before.
Well, he's just a boy the last time she saw him, so Clark standing there in his coat of arms, in his garb. It's pretty, and it's pretty obvious to see that's Kal-El. That's her son. I guess Beardy McBearderson over there is Right. Who are you? Oh, of course you don't remember me, mother.
Right. Yeah. Like, oof.
There's a ton of therapy there.
Yeah, therapy, please.
Yeah.
Well, I should have. Yeah, I did have goth hair back when I was a younger man, but
did you?
I'm talking.
We get it. You had hair.
No, you're so special. You still have it. You're older than us. You had a mother.
Through this.
Too far. People love you.
So we discovered that Tal still does have his powers, and I thought this was I loved this whole moment where Laura's scanning Clark, and Jordan's just like giving Tal some lip.
Yeah. Did your mother prefer the weakling?
And then all of a sudden, oh yeah,
stronger than you are.
Yeah. And then I loved how Tal just snaps those cuffs like it was just a couple of styrofoam
but as everything was kind of progressing at the same time, Clark having the meltdown, did you kind of like at first I was like, oh, this is all part of like everything that's happening has all been
part of the
it
plan.
was all happening very fast, and a lot of things were happening at once, and I was like, are they telling us that this is all part of Tal's plan, like the visions and the headaches that were him, orchestrated by him? And obviously that wasn't the case, but at first I was like, oh, did he we know what's in the caves. Has that got something to do with him? And
right. That's what I was wondering too. At that moment, that's where I was too. Like,
but now he just sees an opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jordan and Tal get into a little scrap. It was cool to see Jordan, use his powers a little bit.
Again, we've seen heat vision. We've seen hearing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hearing in the premiere when he gets to the Cushing house, and then obviously he's throwing some punches in this one, so strength as well. So he's definitely getting he's definitely worked on it some this summer. A good throwaway line would have helped with that to discuss.
That's true. Yeah,
his honing his abilities a little bit, especially not having the fortress. But
what they showed us. Yeah. They showed us instead of telling us.
Yes.
You can. It was noticeably. He was noticeably more in control of it, and was better with it than he had been.
Oh yeah, I found it in my notes. I was really impressed that Jordan came up with this huge line about being like Tal being a homicidal sociopath with intentions to destroy the world or something like that.
Yeah,
I was like, "Whoa, Jordan!"
What did he call him, Uncle? What did he call him when he was talking
Uncle
to Jonathan?
Jerkface?
Uncle Jerkface. Uncle Jerkface.
I loved that one.
So yeah, as a result, Clark. Well, we can kind of get into it at the end of the episode, but so we're thinking that. What are we thinking? I mean, obviously, we're hoping that Clark brings the crystal and reignites the old fortress, but do you think it might be more likely that he's just going to start coming here to see Laura?
I wonder if he'll bring Laura to the old fortress.
Well, that's what Robin, I guess, is saying, whether or not he continues at his place. I hope he goes back to his place. I'd rather be in the ice castle than the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We saw the desert, by the way. We saw the set.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember?
Yeah. That's
and not all in its CGI glory, but we saw the backdrop.
We caught a glimpse.
We caught a glimpse of it.
Yeah, a glimpse.
Yeah. I did like that Jordan said he liked Dad's fortress better than this one.
Well, I'm glad he said that because that means that the writers might be thinking that. Because I don't want the show to be like, well, on our show, we got our fortress
We're
in
going
the
to
desert,
the desert,
and we have Mom in the fortress instead of Dad.
Right.
Right. Give me Fortress of Solitude, Ice Crystal Palace any day of the week.
Yeah. Be funny when Laura gets put there. She'd be like, oh, man, it's cold.
Freaking freezing in here.
Bring me back. I like that Arizona heat. Dry heat. Okay. But yeah, this kind of leads to, John Henry and Lois were doing an investigation into the quakes. And they end up, by the end of the episode, connecting the quakes to the visions and the terrible pain that he's. Matter of fact, in his first collapse in the kitchen in the beginning of the episode, the subtitle actually said "people screaming," which again made me think about the Krypton exploding theory that
Lois had. Yeah, whether or not he was remembering that or remembering it as "quote unquote" Zod.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So rather than just being like some sort of like ungodly scream of something that sounds like multiple screams, the subtitle literally said "people screaming."
Mm-hmm.
So
interesting.
What does that mean?
That does paint some things in a different light then.
So, yeah, when they connected that at the dinner table, I was just like, yeah, guys, catch up. Yeah. We know. I thought you guys figured that out in the last episode.
We figured this out previously.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it got to how many times has the earthquake happened? 5. Oh!
What?
Whoa,
if you're just joining us, Clark Kent is in pain. I was like, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, a little bit.
So in the mines are being now taken over by Ameritech, which seems to be a company that was hired by Mitch Anderson, the very trustworthy Mitch Anderson, of course.
Totally.
And we have a new character, Dr. Faulkner, who is a mineralogist, but she says, "Oh, I'm a geologist," and she's searching for whatever's under the mines. So even though the next episode's called "The Thing in the Mines" or something like that, maybe we can discuss what we think this is all leading to. Because if it's what I'm thinking, you're thinking it's leading to, I'm like, why and how? I mean, like, I like to joke about Mole.
You're not thinking I'm thinking what you're thinking. Now, I mean, we should say I have tried to approach this season from a fan standpoint and not a. I've not tried to read everything and try to experience this as it comes and get spoiled on stuff.
Right.
That being said, there's a couple things I saw. One thing that does happen in this episode, which we'll talk about in a minute, I'm sure, is obviously the mention of Lucy, which is Lois's sister, and it's the first time we've mentioned her on the show, and the fact that she's going to be portrayed by the same actor who played her on Supergirl.
Yep.
But that they have
Kira
said that the blanket of crisis it rewrites the character, so it's not the Lucy we saw on that show,
and that's fine.
It's fine. It's we replace Sam.
Blanket of crisis.
The blanket of crisis.
Blanket of crisis.
Title of Robbins. So I don't really know why we're going that route, but she's obviously been through some things. There's a harrowing story there with her that's very personal to Lois, and now becomes that now becomes part of another trial and tribulation that Lois is having to go through, and that people are previous sources are recanting stories, which is hurts a writer and reporter's image. And that's going to affect Smallville Gazette. As Chrissy said, people are already canceling subscriptions and calling and asking questions as these podcasts are coming out by somebody who's seeking to discredit Lois. So there's that, but then there's also this that you're talking about down below.
Yeah.
So let's remember that season 1 showed us one thing, or showed us several things, and then quickly pivoted to something else. And while the powers that be, Todd and others, have said the thing in the mines is this, have outright said that this is what the thing in the mines is.
Oh, they have?
Evidently. Like I said, I've tried not to actively read, and tried to just sit back and let whatever happens, and not.
I've been trying to do that too.
Prior knowledge. That I'm sure it will be a Superman and Lois version of this character.
Yeah.
We're just going to go ahead and say it's.
Why don't I read what they said?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
you.
So spoilers. If you don't like this, I'm sorry. It's out there, right?
Yeah.
It's actually an actual official press thing?
Yes.
It's an
Yes.
interview?
It was an interview. It was an interview.
Interview with Todd.
Yeah.
The episode ends, talking about the premiere, the episode ends with a spike-covered hand bursting through the walls of the mine, our first tease of Doomsday. That is our that's our homage to a classic Doomsday cover, Helbing said. Then in episode 2, you're going to see him a little bit more. In episode 3, you'll get the full reveal.
So we know it's coming.
The full Doomy.
The full thing. Obviously, yes, we crang.
Right.
Think about
Right.
that panel from Action Comics.
Exactly.
For sure.
Again, they're gonna give us one thing, and then they're gonna pull the rug out from under us.
I do
somehow.
think you're right about that. I was actually talking with my friend Tim, my co-host over on Beer with Geeks and formerly of Supergirl TV Talk, about this, and we were throwing some theories around of he pointed out it is the 30th anniversary of the death of Superman, which I hadn't connected. So that does make a lot of sense that they would do it this year. And I pointed out, like, you've got the Eradicator, you've got a Superboy in Jordan, you've got Steel, you've got a bunch of the pieces there already. You just need a cyborg Superman, and
which we've had before and was a terrible idea.
hopefully we get a real one this time.
An actual one that makes sense.
But in Crisis, we already got the Superman 75 thing reenactment with the tattered cape and Lois.
We did, but that
leaning
wasn't
over him.
Doomsday. That was Lex.
It wasn't Doomsday.
However, I said all that about the Blanket of Crisis and that introduction of Lucy to go back to the point of, at the beginning of Crisis on Infinite Earths, Doomsday is mentioned. Our Superman has already fought Doomsday.
At the beginning of Crisis.
At the beginning of Crisis.
Right.
Now, I know we're gonna willfully ignore some things as works for this series, and that those people who wrote Crisis are not necessarily the people that are working on Superman and Lois. But Clark and Lois do, based on prior conversations from season 1, remember things as they were, or at least Clark does. I mean, and we also see that at the end of Crisis, because we've made that argument several times throughout season 1. Clark had to have remembered it both ways, because then Martian Manhunter must have brought his memories back to the way when everything merged back together. Boy, yeah. Jeez, what a boy. But one of, as Clark is changing Jonathan Prime, or the original Jonathan baby's diaper when he was still a baby on Argo, Lois says, the Superman that has defeated all these General Zod and Doomsday and all these things, and now he's changing diapers as a dad. But so at some point, this Superman pre-Crisis has faced off with Doomsday before. So. Right. In questioning that, will that be addressed?
Nope.
Is there some?
I doubt it. I doubt it.
I mean, Smallville season 8, we buried him in the ground. We pushed him down below. But somebody,
I doubt it's going to be addressed.
Somebody is looking for Doomsday. Somebody is looking for this creature down below, and you know, so that's obviously going to play into the reveal as well.
So is she on the phone with Mitch or with Lex?
Yeah, oh God, please let it be Lex. Please let it be Lex.
I mean, technically, isn't Lex in the Fortress of Solitude? I mean, in the Phantom Zone, excuse me?
Yeah, but so what?
It's a long-distance call, that's what. That's a long distance. That's
I haven't finished that show, so it's all news to me.
I have another theory about what the Doomsday thing could be.
Please. I welcome anything at this point because the wide array of whatever they can throw at the wall to fit their narrative, because it's a vast history, obviously, when you have 80 years of but this is also one of the biggest Superman story of all time. It is the biggest Superman story of all time. I cut school to go buy this when it came out. I mean, to go to the mall and get this story. And the downside, too, of that is we've had a lot of Doomsday. It's kind of an argument with Zod in Season 1 when I thought that's what they were doing with Morgan Edge.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of Doomsday. Right. And we just had arguably the best Doomsday, too, within the last couple of years. And that was on Sci-Fi's Krypton. It's going to be hard to top that for me personally. But you've also had Batman versus Superman. They did it there, although that technically wasn't Doomsday according to that universe's canon. It was a Doomsday, but not the Doomsday, even though it killed Superman. And then you've had him used in the animated films as well. So it has to be something different. And I welcome Frank's theory on what that is.
So back in 2014, 2015, there was a story called Superman Doomed in the comics, written by Greg Pak. And the basic premise of it was Doomsday comes back. I think he'd been in the Phantom Zone. He got released. And Superman fights him, defeats him, but gets infected with like a Doomsday virus. And Superman starts to turn into Doomsday. What if the visions he's having are of him turning into Doomsday? What if that's related to the Quakes in some way? What if there's either a timey-wimey thing where, like, you know, that Doomsday Underground is actually him? A Super Doom of some sort? Or, or what if he is seeing future visions of him, wreaking havoc and people screaming and all that once he gets infected.
Do we want that again? Like, we just got through Season 1 thinking, oh, we're going to get an evil Superman. Here we go. And
I mean,
we survived.
Consider also that you've got the League of Supermen. With DOD. Consider also you have Lucy Lane coming, who is Superwoman in the comics. And she maybe in this Earth, she's got some kind of secret identity.
Well, there's also, I think, you mentioned we have a Superboy. I have a feeling another one's on the way because we've got Jonathan feeling left out of several different storylines and watching who he believes his teammates using steroids. Those kids ain't using steroids. They're using X-Kryptonite.
100%.
100% believe that they're using X-Kryptonite, and Jonathan's going to stupidly get some on his own, I believe, and start huffing it himself.
He's going to start racing cars?
Yeah.
Huffing it like in a sauna, like a sweat box. Or...
Yeah. So both of you put $1 in the jar. Sorry. I think he's gonna see that as he's being left out after having 2 broken arms,
right?
Which we saw that scar in person. That was crazy to see Jordan's arm, but I think that's going to push him to wanting to better himself and be the best quote-unquote version of himself. And unfortunately, he's going to make some rash decisions, I think, in that regard. So
I'd actually give
have
him
a
rash.
lot of... Do what?
Hmm?
What?
Might actually give him a rash.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we also saw Tag. We didn't talk about that, but he's now also one of the Supermen of America. Using his speed, is wearing one of the suits and saved Clark from somebody who was huffing XK.
Right. Yeah, we find out there's an XK black market.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
This is our freak of the week, right? This is
Yeah.
Well, yeah. They built this using XK. They huffed this. They were in a river with XK in it.
Yeah.
Then they got this power. I wonder if they're going to go full freak of the week.
Hey,
kryptonite
it's not a bad plot device as long as you don't overuse it.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask one more question about Doomsday? Does Doomsday have
Just one?
That's it for the season.
Oh, okay.
I'll explain.
Well, Robin's gone.
What's with the 4 lights? Does Doomsday have 4 lights on, like in the caves when he's attacking? There's some. It looks, and that's where I was getting like, it is a mole man. he's got some mole man lights on him. And
I kind of wonder if he's wearing the green suit to begin with. That he first wears.
Oh, yeah.
And that as the season progresses, he starts coming out of it because, he's got those red goggles.
Yeah.
He's kind of bound by cables and everything. So I wonder if he is going to that's...
Cables.
Cable. So I wonder if he will sort of more and more. Again, I think a lot of people went that way. And here's my other thing. If we get to the end of that 3rd episode and we do get a reveal, which apparently we are per, the powers that be, and that fist doesn't come through that title card at the end, either the beginning of the end of the episode, and shatter through that. I'm going to be pissed because that's money on the floor they didn't pick up right there. But
pull out of my change jar. It's all over the floor.
Yeah. They fully need to do that because didn't the first one end with it shaking?
They
did something. Yeah,
just bust through that. That's one of my favorite logos of all time. Is that bony knuckle?
Yes,
just coming through the S shield is fantastic.
I am surprised, Derek. I really thought you were going to be on the same page with me, like going Doomsday. Really, we have to have Doomsday. But you seem pretty excited.
Did you not just hear? No, I mean, I love that story. It's one of my favorite Superman stories. I was the right age. Again, this 30 years ago. I was hooked. And 30 years ago. Oh my God.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm so old. So, but again, and I was just about to say this before you asked your question. I am having a hard time with it because I just waxed poetic for 2 years on that other podcast we had about one of the best iterations of that character ever utilized. Right. And they spun it on its head and changed, how he was brought into that story and did it wonderfully. Again, if you have not watched 2 seasons of Krypton, you have missed out.
Right.
Yeah,
because
man.
they did. Yeah. That show should have not been canceled.
Real wrong kid died.
Wrong kid died. So I really think that they're gonna have to win me over.
This is your 3rd Doomsday, Derek.
More than that, isn't it? I mean, that's a lot.
No, but
podcast
you've covered in podcast form.
Yeah.
True.
We got to talk about Doomsday again.
Yeah. Season 8 of Smallville, and then Krypton, and now this. So they're gonna have to win me over because again, just even since 2000, what was that? 2008, 2007, 2008 of Smallville. So in the last 15 years, we've had now 4 live-action Doomsdays.
Right.
In addition to animated films and stuff like that. So they're going to have to win me over with this one. And I was very much surprised. When you think of Clark having headaches and struggling and visions and stuff like that, I mean, my first thought was Brainiac, which again, they just did the best live action of.
Yes.
On Krypton. Well, really the only live action so far, but just a fantastic version, other than Smallville, but just a fantastic version of that character done both with the use of practical and CGI effects on the Sci-Fi show. So that's kind of where I thought we were going with this, and then all of a sudden just, that knuckle to come busting through, I was like, okay. I'm in for the ride.
There is actually a physical attack on some people. So
yeah, but and then we see him in this one in the shadows, the outline of him, and I was like, okay, you're still going to have to win me over here. Because, again, even if we see him in the third one, I still think we've got to be doing something different.
Sure.
I mean, we saw what they did with the Eradicator, turning the Eradicator into a person. Obviously, the last son of Krypton, that whole storyline, which, again, ties in with the death of Superman. But that, they turned that on its head by making Morgan Tal-Rho and making him Clark's half-brother. And so they'll do something different with this, and I'm in for the journey to find out what that is. But I was surprised to know we were already going back to the well with this one again. So
it surprised me as well. It does seem like, okay, we're doing this again already. Okay,
all right, sign me up. Let's see what happens. I'm interested. I'm anticipating a twist this time.
Yes,
and so I'm ready to see what said twist is. Kind of hard to believe we're already at the third episode.
I know Doomsday is just going to show up in episode 3. There's got to be a twist. Come on,
right.
You're already revealing him in the third episode, and so,
he's going to be moving into the farm by
he's in the RV,
just to help out with whatever the bigger threat is. Doomsday.
It's like Nick Frost at the end of Shaun of the Dead. They've just got him chained up in the the shed.
Yeah, Jordan's playing some Xbox with him with Doomsday at the end of this.
He lives in the storm cellar.
All right, let's get into something different here that not Doomsday related, but we find out about Lucy Lay, and we've been kind of talking around it. But
I'm going to go ahead and we've not discussed, but I'm just going to go ahead and expect you to tread lightly about wherever you're about to go, because I got a feeling I know where it is.
I will just say that we find out Lucy was under the influence of a self-help guru, someone that had a powerful control over her life, and her name was Allie. Allie Alston. What's going on here?
And they did even go so far as to be like, oh, but she just took some classes, right? It's clearly, guys, it's clearly a reference to real events. Like it strikes.
That's cheap, right? I mean,
look, it's just the facts of like what they used like a similar name, and it's a similar structure.
And she said,
I was a little surprised they did that. Like it felt a little.
Me too.
I agree.
She said she invested everything into Allie, which sounds like she gave Allie all her money. I hope
they're going somewhere meaningful with this story, because they tend to on this show. I hope it's not just sort of a cheap joke. It's not a joke, but like a cheap nod.
It's not a joke. Lois straight up said Lucy tried to commit suicide. It's a very deep, a hard subject to tackle. So I mean, can I just, even if it was intentional, can I just believe that it was a
coincidence? It might be a coincidence.
Because I don't want to.
Maybe we should just deny it from here on out. Like, we should just completely deny it. I mean, it may be science, but we don't have to believe it.
God.
We don't have to believe it.
I don't know. I felt like I didn't think that upon watching, and if I didn't think it, it didn't even enter into my head.
Wait, what?
It did. I'm 100%.
Oh, we're in denial. Okay,
I'm
not in denial. I'm not in denial.
Guys,
shut up.
All right, we got to edit this now. We can't.
Why?
We can't make that many jokes about this.
I'm not making jokes.
Not you.
Oh, Robin, he makes jokes about everything.
I'm not trying to make jokes. I'm saying it's so weird that they made this reference, and I'm thinking rather than talk about its connections, we should just be like, just take this as a fictional story and deny that they might be making some sort of reference, right? Isn't that the right way to go?
I don't think that it doesn't seem like they have a point of view or something to say per se, but about the people involved in any things.
Why do I feel like we're suddenly Seinfeld and George in that episode? Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Well, no, I'm more like any what's the thing, the disclaimer they put at the end of the movie? It's like any
similarity,
resemblance are purely
coincidental. Yeah.
I feel like they're not saying anything about any particular person or group of people, but they are talking about people who are affected by who get sucked into these cults and get taken advantage of
I
by
took it.
people
I
like
took
that.
it as in 2022 we've seen what people are deluded enough to follow. I'll say.
Yeah.
And in some instances desperate enough to find acceptance and find it in the wrong places.
And I'm hopeful that they will focus on like Lucy's story.
I think they will. I think there's going to be a journey to go find Lucy.
Yes.
Because I think the more that Lois becomes discredited in this, they're going to have Lucy's alibi and personal, which is it's going to be a difficult story if they are going that route because obviously as Lois said, Lucy followed instructions to go find herself to the point of almost unaliving herself, which
Her
is
other self,
which is horrendous. But I didn't think that, guys. I really didn't at all.
Oh. Wow!
Until Robin started talking, I didn't. Yeah, it didn't enter in my head.
And she even said cults and investing, and maybe we should have started this podcast episode by introducing ourselves as this is Rabble Roused episode 59, canceled before cancel culture. We're here talking about Allie Elston. The podcast that was on the show.
Rabble Roused. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rabble Roused. They only made it to episode 59 so far, so hey.
Really found its voice in episode 45. That's a Ghostbusters reference.
Nice.
No, I didn't think that. And now under this lens, I might go back and watch it or watch next week's episode and be like, Robin was right. But I
think at least the name choice is a tip of the hat, if nothing else. To
listen, I just felt like it had to be mentioned. It's probably on people's minds. It's on my mind, and it is in no way to make fun of anybody who is victimized by that. Yeah. So. Yeah. Or to try to, I don't mean to even rob this story of what it's trying to set up here, which is, some pain between the sisters, because it sounds like Lois, from Lucy's point of view, Lois betrayed her sister for a story and never talked to her again.
Yeah. What do we think is going on there? Is it just, do we think it's just Lucy backing out? Do you think that there's bigger forces behind, maybe other sources starting to back out?
I don't know. There's a lot of trauma in that family that usually we deal with Lois's mother dying, not Lois's mother just abandoning her husband and children. So you've got that, and I think it gives us a deeper look into this Sam and Lois and their relationship, obviously. But again, you throw that blanket of crisis, quote unquote, over everything, and it changes the purview of what has been established. I mean, talk about a left turn versus what the Lucy that we had on Supergirl in season 1 when we had that CBS money. So I think it's, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that comes about and how this story grows bigger. I mean, it is kind of that whole fake news thing too, when you've got, the establishment of this podcast kind of trying to take down Lois and discredit her. So there's that element as well. God, maybe I need to go back and watch the episode. It didn't even enter into my mind.
Layers. Yeah. There's always layers to these things.
Onions have layers.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about it anymore, but it is setting us up something, and I'm really looking forward to Lucy being on the show. I like the actress, Jenna Dewan. She's on The Rookie right now, but she was on this show called Soundtracked on Netflix, which was this great little one-season thing where it was like a musical show, but they like lip synced actual songs rather, and she's actually a pretty amazing dancer. But
yeah, she's Isn't that how she and Channing met back
Right.
when she was with Channing? But isn't that how they met? It was
Right.
Step Up movies or something back in the day? Formerly married to Channing Tatum. Were they married in season 1 of Supergirl? I think they were.
They were, yeah. She was still Jenna Dewan
I think
Tatum.
they've divorced since then. But yeah, obviously she was very much the army brat.
Yeah.
In season 1 of that show, and her father's right hand daughter. So very different. And it's also I'm glad for one thing they treated Lois Lane horribly in season 1 of Supergirl. Obviously she wasn't on the show, but between the way Lucy talked about her and the way Kat talked about her, I never liked how just awful they talked about Lois behind her back. So hopefully that won't be the case here either. But I am excited.
Kat didn't
to
say
see
anything nice really on that show. So
no, she didn't. But she did. She did make some horrible comments about Lois that just never set right with me. For somebody who is all about empowering women, she was quick to always tear Lois down. But I'm excited to see the two of them together on screen, Lois and Lucy.
Yeah. She just got promoted to I think either regular or major recurring character on The Rookie, so I don't expect her to be on for more than an episode, maybe two.
There you go.
So
looking forward.
And that's your entertainment news.
Looking forward to seeing her in the streets of Smallville.
Yeah. I've already seen Bitsy has shared some photos of them hanging out together on set. She shared them on Instagram. And it looks like that they've had a lovely time shooting together. So
there's obviously a reason they wanted to bring her back.
Yeah.
In that role, even if it's not the exact same role that she previously played, instead of just recasting her.
I think it's cool that they're keeping that continuity.
I am too, and I liked her in season 1 a lot. She obviously had a lot of history with Jimmy,
right,
on that show.
So speaking of Smallville, the inevitable finally happened. Daniel Hart dropped right out. That was quick, and now Lana's running for mayor. And I love how that scene where Lana and Kyle are going back and forth with names, and I was just like, You're getting to Lana.
Right
just get
there.
to Lana.
Just
she's right
do
there.
it.
She's been organizing this whole thing. I mean, come on.
We said it months ago on this podcast. Right there.
For a minute there, I was like, what if Lana runs Kyle's campaign?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking.
He's all like, I love this town and I want jobs and I want what's best for the community. I for a second there, I wasn't sure how far they would stretch this out, how many episodes they'd stretch it out until they landed on one of them running. And I thought it could be Kyle too, but Lana was the obvious choice and the better choice.
For sure. And I honestly did have a moment during this episode where I was super scared that Lana was just like, how about you run, Kyle? You've always believed in this town, da-da-da-da. And that was going to lead into later in the season where they have issues because it's obvious that Lana really should have the job and not Kyle, and there would be some sort of problem between them.
Well, if the husband dies, the wife gets the seat, right? Isn't that how it works? I feel like that happened on another show.
Right. So when if Jonathan kills Kyle, you're saying when they fight, then
I didn't say that at all. I'm not the one that wants that smackdown. I don't know.
I don't want him to die.
Somebody else harped
on
that. Somebody else harped on that, not me. No, I get narratively why we had to get to the point of Lana having to decide to run, but it was something that much like when
they're sitting around the table,
the Laura crystal, much like that. You were discussed at the end of last season. We were like,
but another one was just like, yes, we're finally on the same page. Just like when they connected the visions to earthquakes, I was just like, yeah.
Yeah. You think?
Let's move on with season 2.
Something I didn't see coming, and I want to ask if you feel it's going to go this way when we do get to the reveal of why Sarah has pulled away from Jordan a little bit and her kind of guilt about what happened at Summer
We can get into it.
She kissed a girl, and she liked it, as the song goes.
It's a very now joke. That's great.
I think it's now. That's what I call music volume 34.
Was that Jill Sobule?
What?
It's even older.
Are we heading toward a love triangle? Is there going to be some feelings toward Natalie, between Natalie and Sarah?
Well, I was glad Natalie finally let her hair down in this episode. You know, she's finally comfortable.
I'm just glad that
being on the
Pontiac
show.
Firebird. I'm glad that Pontiac Firebird is a staple on every Earth. I keep waiting for some reference that everybody makes, and Natalie's like, "We don't have that on my Earth." But Pontiac Firebird is not one of them. She knows her cars, and she knows how to get this one running. But Sarah was quick to befriend her and obviously invite her over and everything. And I almost kind of wonder if are they going that route?
Yeah, I had the same thought
moving forward. Before the episode, I thought
yes,
Robin.
Please.
I thought Robin had already watched it when I said, "Are they going to do a love triangle with Natalie?" And I think Robin thought I was talking about Jordan and Natalie, and then he watched the episode. He was like, "Oh, that love triangle." That's not what I expected when you said that.
I mean, it was the gif of the girl giving like the lemon face, and then she's kind of like thinking about it, you know.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
my first reaction was like
kombucha
fighting over Jordan. No, and then when the other way, like, well, actually, that's more interesting, you know.
Well, the other way is weird because that's kind of like his half sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Sister.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
I mean, that's some kind of Luke and Leia vibes there in a way, a little bit to me.
Yeah. Don't like that.
So yeah, I think the other way is far more interesting.
Yeah.
If that were to be the case, because there's still some gray area on where we're at on the whole Sarah Jordan thing by the end of this episode. Are they still?
I mean, she says she still wants to be together.
Yeah, and he calls her the girlfriend, but when he introduces her to Natalie, but obviously she's still kind of recoiling a little bit by that point.
I think Jordan's got a bit of a broken heart at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest that Sarah smiled the whole time was after she got off the bus when she was reminiscing about her month away. So
right. No, she saw that shirt about.
She saw, I got eradicated, and all I got was this
she's
stupid
like, that's
t-shirt.
hilarious. Cracks up. And then she's like, oh, I'm here.
Oh, I'm back.
I'm sad.
Oh, yeah, my dad tried to kill me. It'll be interesting to see how that... it's an interesting way to fit Natalie into another narrative, if they go that route. I don't think that there wasn't one of those lingering look moments I didn't feel like in this episode that sets it up. But, it almost makes you wonder if they're gonna go that route.
Sure.
Moving forward in the next several episodes, as Sarah kind of, I know there's one episode where her quinceañera happens in this season as well. So
is it episode 5?
Her becoming a woman. I don't know. I don't remember.
Isn't it quince? I don't know.
Quinceañera? I can't pronounce it. But so forgive me if I did mispronounce it. But I know that that's obviously going to be a storyline at some point for her, as they talked about her, being 15 this season, and these characters growing. So, it'll be interesting to see how Natalie fits narratively in everybody's life. I hope for some scenes with her and Clark as well, because there's still got to be some, and obviously we see that in her scenes with her dad in the first episode. There's still got to be some resentment there. I mean, he killed her mom, theoretically.
Yeah, true.
So it's all very difficult pills to swallow for her being immersed into this new land.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really tough dynamic between her and Clark, and I'd love to see them explore that more, similar to the way they've been exploring her dynamic with Lois.
Yeah,
that would be. I'm very excited to see them take on those sorts of stories. The stories I'm most excited about are the family dynamic stories,
right?
Because they do them so well, and again, they don't do that 4 episode drawn out angsty. We're not going to talk, like they address things head on the way a family actually would.
Yes,
and I joke about them being in carbonite freezing for the summer, but it's good because we kind of want to see these dynamics play out.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
good they didn't interact.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're all good now. You missed it.
Yeah.
Did you have a good summer?
you say that, but
How are you?
we obviously saw there was some animosity and resentment that had been building between Clark and Lois this entire 3-month period. Because when they're discussing the first day of school, Clark's already kind of fed up when he propositions her about reaching out to Natalie, and she's like, I tried, and he's like, you know what, I've tried, and I've tried to ask you what's going on, and I've tried to help, and I keep messing up. So he was at a breaking point with that anyway.
Mm-hmm. So I think there's only a couple more things I wanted to explore.
Caves?
When Lana and Kyle walk up to Victoria Mays, did it look like Kyle was carrying a box of flip-flops to you two? No?
I didn't catch that at all.
It turned out it was like brims of hats, but I was just like, is he carrying a box of flip-flops? Like Daniel Hart flip-flops? Dr. Faulkner is played by Catherine Lowe Hagquist, who has been in so many Vancouver productions. She was even on like the 3rd episode of The X-Files, one of the best ones, Tombs. But she was on Smallville. She was on the episode Ryan. But also like Supernatural, Stargate 1. Like look at her IMDb. It's pretty crazy.
It's a who's who of the VC area.
The hostage saving at the airport. Totally forgot about that. This guy that does the inhalant is billed as Philip Karnowski and is even called Karnowski by Anderson. But in the credits, they say Philip Karnowski, a.k.a. Barrage. And I was like, oh, is that a comics connection? Did I just surprise you guys?
Yeah, I did not see the credits, so the fact that they went that far to give him an alias
Yep.
Is an interesting choice.
Yeah, Philip Karnowski, as a criminal known as Barrage, uses a high-tech suit of armor to commit his crimes.
Okay. So that's in the comics. There is a Smallville connection for let's get the jar out. Shaw Madsen, who plays Karnowski, he was Lex's henchman in the episode Descent, and he was also Officer Phil in Noir. So
it all comes back to Noir.
The guy from Descent. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Is he the one that locked Lois and Jimmy up in the freezer?
I don't remember. I
have to go back and watch.
Maybe.
But Karnowski is it was created by John Byrne in the Man of Steel.
They don't throw away names on the show if it's not for something. They're good at using those references.
They are. Yeah. These are
a lot in season 1.
It's very surprising that they actually put that in the credits and sort of
the Barrage thing surprised me instead of just throwing up Karnowski on the
right. Yeah,
on the
good
screen.
Good catch, Robin.
Nicely done, Robin.
Thank you.
That's why we pay you. You guys are getting paid?
Somebody's paying. I like that Kyle is excited to be Smallville's first dude. That was his line.
I thought that was kind of endearing.
I other than the rift that was kind of forming in the first episode, but with her spending so much time on the campaign and being diverted away from him, I did like his messy shrimp cocktails. But I liked how not only how affectionate they were in these first 2 episodes, but how they
get a room.
They have one with a bed and a door. That the issues that they were facing in season 1, they've mended those, and they've moved forward and are very much in love and working things out, and again those things that you address and work on and take care of instead of just lingering and letting them hang out there and fighting over them for 5 to 6 episodes.
I like to see them, like that. It wasn't just sort of more of the same. It was like it felt a little more real.
I think I said toward the end of season 1, Kyle grew on me greatly as we got deeper into the season. I was when the sides first came out before we ever saw the pilot, and they were talking about how that he was going to kind of be abusive and a jackass, and I was like, I hope they don't go that route. I don't want to see, especially if they're going to go a physically abusive route. That's just that doesn't need to be shown.
A little too dark.
Yeah. Then I thought they were going to go the verbally abusive route, and it was just no. They just had a very different way of how they interacted, and he likes his booze a little bit too much, and that was all it ended up being, and that they were just at a crossroads in their marriage, but that they repaired that, and
right,
and it shows in this season. So again, I really I like Eric. I think he's done a fantastic job, and I think he loves being on this show, and that shows as well.
Yeah, he's always posting.
Yeah, that he loves this character and getting to pay homage to this mythos. So I like more and more seeing where that's going to go, and again too that guilt that weighed on him after pushing for Edge and trying to get everybody on the bandwagon and shutting down Lois time and time again, and how much he loved the town and trying to push for that, and was doing the wrong things for the right reason, and obviously it blew up in his face. And he had to pay for the consequences of that. But it's good to see him back in his role with the fire department, and hopefully those fences have been mended.
And my last note, I think, it really is a combination. It's got to do with John Henry Irons. One thing in this episode, I read that this is the first time they mentioned the word, the name Steel when referring. Lois says nothing to do with the steel suit, and when I heard that, I thought, oh, that's witty. Like that's not capital S Steel. But then I turned the subtitles on. It's capital S Steel.
Nice. I assumed the same thing you did, that it was sort of like, oh, your suit made of steel, not like your steel suit.
Your steel suit.
Nice.
No, your steel suit.
Nice.
Well, we glossed over, but Anderson does mention him as well, asking if Superman's friend wants to join him, and he says he's hung that up. Those days are behind him. So interesting that they went ahead and kind of revealed that as well.
That's cool.
And we get this one moment with him. That's what I would have mentioned, where he kind of phases out and sees his wife standing there on the cliffside of Schuster Mines, where you see the mountains of Kansas behind them. He kind of flashes and sees his wife standing there, and he's. I like this. They have a little discussion about it, and he says, Nat will make the adjustment, and then she's like, how are you doing? And he's like, I'm adjusting. Adjusting.
I wondered why they did that. I was like, are we going to go through this again? And then I remembered it was a big part of why he was to leave.
Right.
That was so. I think it. I don't want to go through that again, but I think they did have to also make mention or address the fact that was a big part of him leaving. He told her in the barn in the finale, he was like, I can't do this. I need to go. So, catching that glimpse of her and remembering his wife. I mean, that's a hard thing, as much for Natalie to see a woman that looks just like her mother, and technically is her mother, because that was Lois Lane of that Earth. I mean, that he has to deal with that as well.
Yeah. I mean, just like imagine like the little mannerisms that the person has, and things like, even the fact that like he knew the way that she took her tea or coffee, like,
and that she was a reporter at the Planet. I mean, she obviously was doing TV on that Earth, but that's it's a hard pill to swallow. Recognizing
familiar things in the person, that's why he's telling that, like, realize these aren't the people. These are not your friends in school, right? Like, they may look like them and act like them and seem like them in every way, but they don't have the same background, the same history. They're not the same person.
So go to Coast City. Don't go to Metropolis.
I mean, yeah. Well, now they're in Smallville, so
yeah.
So yeah. Oh, I think Chrissy is going to get pulled into the fold this season. It seems like her and Lois are kind of butting heads about how much Lois is holding back from her, and I feel it's just going to have to be. She's actually a main cast member this season too,
right?
So I'm assuming that she's going to get pulled into the fold and be their girl in the chair, maybe.
So you think she'll find out Clark's Superman?
I think so.
I think that might. I could see it happening. I'd be surprised if they did it, but I could see it happening, if only from the standpoint that if she's going to continue to question Lois's journalistic integrity,
sure,
that's a huge thing that I could see a rift opening between them.
It was kind of disappointing how much she didn't believe, or she kept on questioning Lois. It's just like, come on, it's Lois Lane.
Yeah.
You do idolize her.
Well, especially, you idolize her. You fangirled over her the entire first season. And then the first time a podcast comes out and is like, start questioning it a little bit.
I guess because the allegation was so serious, she just wanted to, take it serious, give it the gravity it deserves. But yeah, that'd be neat if she was brought into the fold and became part of the team.
Yeah, because the only interaction between her and Superman was that moment in the finale where she was interviewing him.
Great moment, though.
It was
Great
good.
moment.
It was good, but I think definitely as we get into season 2 and Superman is around more in Smallville and doesn't seemingly have a reason to be, if she is the reporter that they're making her out to be, she's going to have to sniff her nose a little bit and start putting some pieces together.
I would love her to figure it out, or get close to figuring it out anyway, like to do some investigation.
They are definitely her setting. I mean, she is kind of a Chloe archetype in a way, so in some regard.
That's interesting. Also, just having her be, a journalist that figures it out. Where I just remembered, I'm like, did Lois figure it out in this show? We saw flashbacks, and it looked like Clark revealed himself as Superman rather than her figuring it out.
Yeah,
that's true.
So interesting.
Yeah. So would they do that if Lois didn't do the same? Yeah, that's interesting.
So we'll be back with the third episode, the thing in the thing in the mines.
Thing in the mines.
The thing in the mines.
Supposedly, we're going to see more of the thing in the mines. The trailer shows us Sam Lane.
Yeah. It's not a national security issue. It's a family issue.
Family issue. I feel like that's like the umpteenth
subtitle for the show. That's the log line.
Really? Yeah. It's like the umpteenth time Lois has had to say that to him. Like, it's about family. Get it through your head.
And now that we're back, we have to remember all the ways that you can find us.
Oh, boy.
On the internet.
Luckily, I have them all written down.
Well, go for it, Robin.
Visit us on the web at supermantvtalk.com. Email us at supermantvtalk@gmail.com. Follow us on the Twitter, supermantvtalk, and on the Insta, Starkville House of Hell. Subscribe on your favorite podcatcher. We'd love for you to go on to Apple Podcasts, give us a nice rating and review. And, of course, as always, we want to give a shout out to Craig from Krypton Site. And, of course, at Superman Lois TV on Twitter for him. So that's about it.
All right.
That's why we pay the big
And I'm Robin.
And I'm Derek.
And I'm always around.
And we're all... Yep, shoot. Okay, good. Yeah. Frank
Around.
beat us to the punch. All right. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.